Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to NickTube, and welcome back to our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series. So the character I've created for today's video is known as Nessie The Loch Ness monster. So we'll go into this character's backstory, gameplay mechanics, and all that good stuff as well. But before doing any of that, do be sure to leave a like and subscribe to NickTube as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. And as always, I just like to say that everything I say in this video isn't linked to the overall universe and lore of FNAF. This is just a character and story that I've created, so keep that in mind and enjoy the video. But alrighty, with that all out of the way, let's get into the character concept for Nessie the Loch Ness monster. So previously in our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series, we've been looking into a different kind of pizzeria. This establishment wasn't like all the others that you would usually see. Instead of fun and joy, this place was filled with fear and excitement. And this place was known as the Creepy Cryptid Pizzeria. This was a horror-themed restaurant that hosted a whole cast of creepy characters. Each one is based on a specific cryptid that is known for their local legend and mythology. The characters we've seen so far have been Barry Bigfoot, Marty Mothman, Wendell the Wendigo, and Charlie the Chupacabra. Throughout the story, we've looked at each of these characters' backstories and events that have taken place. And things have definitely been getting creepy, that's for sure. But as creepy as they may look, not all cryptids are considered to be scary and hostile. What if there was a famous cryptid that was celebrated and loved by all? Well, there's a friendly lake monster that fits that description. So the next character we're introducing is known as Nessie the Loch Ness monster. Nessie is based on the famous mythical creature from the Scottish Highlands in Loch Ness Lake. The Loch Ness monster, or Nessie, is a legendary creature in Scottish folklore. Often described as a large, long-necked aquatic animal similar to a seafaring dinosaur. Despite over 1,000 recorded sightings and various hunts, no conclusive evidence confirms its existence. Theories range from giant eels to a surviving plesiosaurus, though many sightings are considered hoaxes or natural phenomena. So unlike all the other characters, Nessie was considered to be a nice and friendly animatronic. She didn't have her own horror-themed location on the ride either. Instead, she would walk around the pizzeria, greeting all the guests as they played their games and ate their pizza. Considering that the Loch Ness monster is meant to be a friendly animal, they thought this design would fit the character the best. Many guests would always approach Nessie and ask to have their photo taken with her. She had her own fan group and people who adored her. Her design was quite interesting and different from most animatronics. Instead of hands and feet, she had flippers. The bottom flippers were designed in such a way that allows her to stand upright and support her weight. Her tail also keeps her balanced as she walks around. But of course, the most interesting part of her design was her long neck. It was made of multiple moving parts that could bend and maneuver in multiple different directions. It was also strong enough to hold and support her endo skull. So with Nessie being such a popular and friendly character, the pizzeria was quite pleased with her. She brought in new customers every day, and everyone always wanted to see the great mythical Nessie. But unfortunately, the good times couldn't last forever. Nessie was never the same after what happened with the accident. This all happened when the restaurant was closed and undergoing repairs. Nessie was stored away in the repair room and was out of the way of all the construction. But unfortunately, a large water pipe broke overhead. Water rapidly poured down on Nessie's body and started filling the room. Before she knew it, her body was fully submerged in the water. She stayed that way in the water for 3 whole days. The water affected all of her electronics and caused her to short circuit. Her body was covered in stains from all the dirty water and rust. By the time the workers opened up the room and drained all the water, the damage had already been done. Nessie had completely changed and lost her friendly looking appearance. The ironic part is that this mysterious sea monster has finally swam in the water, but her animatronic body certainly didn't cope well with all the water that surrounded her body. For now, they keep her locked away in the supply room so she can't walk around and get damaged anymore. But somehow she always finds a way out and manages to roam around the pizzeria. She hasn't been herself lately. She's been known to act very strangely, especially at night, and most recently she's taken an interest in the security office. She keeps trying to make her way inside, no one knows why, but it's safe to say that it can't be for a good reason. And the security guard needs to be alert or else they'll find out what she's up to. So now, let's get into the gameplay segment of the video. As always, the gameplay is based on the classic FNAF formula of observation and management. So Nessie's starting position will always be in the supply closet, and she'll start moving at around 2 to 3 AM. Nessie will always approach from either the left-hand door or the main entrance. When she approaches the door, the player simply needs to shut it, but when she appears at the main entrance, it's a different story. When she gets close enough, the player will need to activate the overhead fire sprinklers. The sudden spray of water will cause her to panic and exit the room. But the player needs to be careful how frequently they use the sprinklers, because they can either run out of water or negatively affect any other characters in the room. So while keeping this all in mind, the player will need to keep on their toes, because if they don't, then they'll be greeted by a classic FNAF jump scare. So I think that Nessie the Loch Ness monster would be a great addition to our roster of characters. Mainly because the Loch Ness monster is such an iconic cryptid character, and her design is quite fun and creepy as well. But the player will need to keep an eye on the sprinklers and everything else that's happening around them, because the last thing they would want is a visit from old Nessie, that's for sure. Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting and subscribing, as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. As always, do be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of Nessie the Loch Ness monster and what you'd like to see going forward. And like always, I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone who watched, liked and commented on today's video. All the support and the channel viewership really means the world to us, and we hope you're enjoying the new series as well. But alrighty, that's all from me today, and until the next FNAF character concept video, I'll catch you later. Bye.